So I'm sure Uncle Jim over in Wisconsin is probably going to want to strangle me for this. Because these are good 3-bolt old style hubs. And I think he likes them. He likes to do everything period correct, and I like to do things a little different. So what I'm going to do is chuck these up in the lathe right here and put the centering bit in that hole, and then just true up this area so that way I can grip it pretty well in the lathe. And then I'm going to bore those 1-inch holes out to about 1.25 inches. I got this here piece of, it's 1.26, so just over 1.25 inches, hard round bar, and it's solid. So I'll chuck this up and drill my center hole and maybe even ream it at 3/4 inch. So my spindles are measuring like 0.748 inches, so 2 thou under. So if I ream that to 3/4, they should be pretty smooth. And then I'll take this back down to 1.25 even, and then I can slide those hubs over this and figure out where I want to basically build my spindles to, as far as width goes. There's a lot of things to consider with my steering radius, clearing that double belt guard, clearing my footrests and things like that, and then also being able to clear the inside of the spindles and steering arms. So I chucked up this flange in the lathe tonight, or today, and just touched up this, and then so far I've chucked up just this hub and ran this end mill through it just to open up the bore to about 1 1/8 inches, and then I'm using this boring bar to bring it to the 1.25 inches for this bar stock. So I'm going to keep on working and get that one bored out, and then I'll chuck this one up and bore it out, and that's that. I've got one drilled out and bored to 1.25 inches. Now it's time to duplicate. They are now both bored out. So I chucked up a piece of this bar in the lathe and cleaned it up with some emery paper, and I'm at 1.265 inches. So instead of trying to take 15 thou off this, I think I'm just going to bore it out. Cut it to length and face the ends off at 4.5 inches, and then just bore the hubs to fit this. Just one less piece to machine to tolerance when this is already straight and true, and I think I'll just bore them hubs out a little bit more. So this is pretty much a slip fit most of the way. So you see, once I get to the back of that set screw, something's binding in there. But I think I'll be able to tap this in to where I want it, and then I plan on just positioning it somewhere right there, depending on how the tractor likes it, and then I'll weld all the way around on both sides. Of course, I have to cut this into 2 pieces and bore and ream 3/4 inch holes through to fit the tractor spindles. So next job will be cutting this solid bar to length, 2 pieces facing off the ends, and boring them out. Then I was going to use these set screw holes for grease zerts, but I kind of think what I'll do is just end up using them for the set screws temporarily to move them around on the tractor, roll it around, steer it left and right, all that, and then I'll weld it all up and then probably flip it over and drill and tap a 1/4 28 holes on that side. One last thing before I wrap it up for the night is making sure that that hub fits the wheel now, and it does quite nicely. I'm happy for that. Thanks for watching, everybody.